We love villains.
Yes.
We love villains in sports.
Yes, we do.
But there are times where a villain can cross a line. And there's no turning back.
I think I know where this is going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Patrick Beverley, a villain that I think in the NBA has been defended by many people over the years, right? He is a villain that you want on your team, but you hate to play against.
Yes.
He's an antagonist. He is going to bother you. You know, it's like a rock in your shoe. And you can't, have you ever had an itch on your foot when you're driving? And you're like, I cannot stop because I have an itch. Like, that is what Patrick Beverley, and he's not the only one. We've got plenty of villains, specifically in the NBA, from Draymond Green to Dylan Brooks. They've been there. Andrew Bynum, I think, at the end of his career was a bit of a villain. Right?
Yes, you're talking to a math fan.
Oh, right, I forgot about that one,
yeah. When he gave J.J. Barea the forearm shiver.
Yes, no.
That was bad.
Super bad, super bad. There are lines you cannot cross.
Yes.
Andrew Bynum crossed that line.
Yes.
Patrick Beverley has been on the verge of crossing the line throughout many seasons, but he hasn't. Until now. Patrick Beverley had 2 incidences in his last game where, one, he threw a ball at the stands twice, hitting a woman who was not paying attention. Could have broke her nose, but it didn't. Nothing happened like that. And The Athletic reported that it was because these fans were yelling, Cancun on 3. Listen, that's funny. Yeah. I think that's hilarious. But you cannot cross that line. Even Draymond Green on his podcast after this incident came out and was like, yeah, you can do this with the players. You can do this, on the court. Even maybe like you bump a ref, okay. But bringing it out to the fans is a big, big no-no.
Yeah, Patrick Beverley has officially lost it. And, it's one of those things where, he's been a guy that's a habitual line stepper. He tries to toe around everything he can without crossing the line all the way, but he's crossed the line all the way here. Doesn't matter what the fan said. Obviously, nowadays you can literally point to the security guy and tell them to remove the fan if it's a real issue. So this is just really talks about him and being sensitive in that moment, right? And so we live in a society now where being sensitive is celebrated now, and you can do those things, but not to the point of trying to throw a ball at somebody in the stands. And you could have injured somebody. I mean, the team's held liable, not only yourself, but the team is held liable in this situation as well. So, because you got to protect the people that are coming in to watch your product or buy your product or, all those things. So it's a bad look for not only Patrick Beverley, but now the commissioner has to do his job and 100%. Step in and protect the brand.
Yes, like you could, in theory, I guess, even blame a little bit of the league, right? Allowing him to always push the boundaries. The same thing with Draymond Green. But I have no sympathy for you. I'm a very emotional person, Kerry. Very emotional. I may lose it, but I lose it within myself and my emotions. Yeah. I don't take it out physically on someone else. And I'm not even making millions of dollars. Like, I have no sympathy. I have no excuses for what he did, and it's just disappointing because I defended him a few times. I was like, well, guys, he has passion. Like, you want a guy like that on your team. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I do, yeah.
You do, and so it's just unfortunate that in one night, not only did he cross one line, then he crossed another line in the postgame. Yeah. We have a little bit of sound from postgame. Yes. Here we go.
Subscribe to my pod?
Do I subscribe to you? I do not.
So you can't interview me then. No
okay,
disrespect.
Well, Jamal is here.
You subscribe? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Again, there were a couple times within a bucket or two. In previous games, y'all have been able to kind of get over that hump, or maybe. Was it anything they did in particular, or was it just one of those where the bucket didn't go down, there wasn't the stop, they made one? What kind of prevented that you all from being able to get over, kind of like you have in the past?
You move that mic, please, or just get out the circle, please, for me, please, ma'am. If you're not subscribed to my pod, I appreciate that. Thank you.
And that's where I would have been fired. That's where I would have punched him or slapped him with the mic. And that's where I would have been fired. And I would have gone out happily escorted by security. Right. No problem. Melinda Adams, an ESPN producer where everyone has come out and said how amazing she is. You know, that's not a good look here at Patrick Beverley. I don't know if you were trying to be funny. I don't know what the goal in this was. You are literally being recorded. Everybody is hearing you do this. Do you think he thought nothing in the moment, that he was just like, no, I don't want to talk to you? What do you think was in his mind? It's hard to put yourself in that position because clearly he had just thrown a ball.
Yeah.
So he was frustrated. He was mad.
Yeah.
But to then do that knowing that there's all these cameras and recorders around you, like, what were you thinking?
Well, I think he was
Lost your mind.
bringing attention to his podcast because he's about to be out of the league, right?
Well, okay.
You know,
okay.
That would be my unbiased, uncensored response to what I heard or saw in that instance, because other than that, it makes no sense. And who cares about your podcast?
Who cares?
Nobody.
Everybody and their mom has a podcast.
Everybody.
Do you want to start one? Good. We
Yeah.
will. Literally, everybody has a podcast. Nobody cares about that.
No.
And you came off like such a douche.
Yes, it
Such a douche. There was nothing about that in that moment where it was even like, okay, it's kind of funny. No, Patrick Beverley. And maybe you're right. Maybe he was like, all right, well, I already messed up real bad. This
Right.
is going to be my last interview. I may as well plug my podcast.
Right.
But that didn't help. Like, if anything, you lost listeners. You lost subscribers, Patrick Beverley, after that incident.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because the guy's story is a cool story.
Yeah.
Of where he came from and how he got to the point he is, and obviously the sustainability he's had being this version of the villain, right? He's done that successfully in different stops. Obviously, the numbers don't show that, but the impact that having a person like that on your team
Is very
kind of
beneficial.
yields is very, very, very beneficial, right? And so, but now this look right here, it has to be the final straw.
There's no
There's
way.
no other way around bringing yourself back from this look.
Right. Because, like, okay, let's say the league suspends him for,
Yeah.
half a season? It's got to be big.
It's gonna be big.
It's
yeah.
going to be big. Let's say half a season.
Yeah.
How do you bring yourself back into any locker room with any media member?
Yeah, you don't. I mean, obviously you have team allegations, team regulations on that stuff, right?
Sure.
So there's going to be, it will have to work itself out. But I just don't see anybody bring them to the team. I mean, what he does now, and even his play doesn't really give you anything either at this point. So I see it as the final straw.
It
You know?
really does seem like it's the
Yeah.
final straw. And if Draymond Green is on his podcast saying that you crossed the line,
Yeah,
that can't be good.
from somebody
If
that
Dray-
crosses the line
All the time.
A lot, yeah.
All the time. All the time. He's just never thrown a ball at a fan. Like, legit. But other than that, but it's like, he even said the league, Adam Silver, has a lot of pressure to
Yeah.
actually do something about this. ESPN has already come out and said he's not invited to join any shows. You know
he
how
meant
he
to
would,
yeah.
You know, he would make a guest appearances.
Yes.
He's been banned from that,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Yeah.
But at least you have your podcast. Is that the good thing here?
No, no, there's nothing good about this situation for anybody involved, right? I mean, like, all parties involved, this is a loss, right? The fan, you don't want to get hit at a game that you come to
No.
watch the game at. That's a loss.
No.
It's a loss for Patrick Beverley for throwing it in the stands, right? We know that. It's a loss for Milwaukee, not just
gonna
for
say.
them losing, but like I said, the team has responsibility to keep the people, their patrons, safe. That's a loss. His podcast is done. Like, there's nothing about this that's going to be a positive at all.
No, I'm so with you. I also wonder why. It's like the when you're in a situation, fight or flight.
Yeah.
When that happened, everybody else just kept going. All the other reporters and journalists there, and I'm not blaming you because I maybe you were just so surprised
Mm-hmm.
by him saying that, but everyone just stayed there. It would have been so wonderful if everyone
Everybody
just
just
walked
left.
away, like just left him there and just
Yeah.
walked away. But it's again maybe shocking to be in that situation to hear him say this to her,
Yeah.
who is a respectable person in the media. Everyone came out and said how amazing she is, and she did say that he called and apologized, and that the Bucks also apologized.
Of course.
But too little, too late.
It is.
Like when Scar threw Mufasa off that too little, too late.
Oh, I was done with Scar.
Oh, I know, but it's so good.
I know. I just wanted to. I was so mad at Scar, man.
Right?
Just, why are you going to just mislead your nephew,
Right.
of all people?
I know.
Oh, come on, man.
It's no turning back.
Zero turning back.
There's zero turning back. And why? I think that's more of where I'm stuck. I'm just like, why would you basically commit career suicide in 20 minutes?
Because he wanted to go out with a bang. I think he kind of.
We have different ideas of bangs, Patrick Beverley and I, apparently.
I think he knew this is the final stop for him anyway. I felt, and watching him play and watching them play in that game, the fact that he was on the floor as much as he was, he offered nothing.
Yeah.
Even the players that he would guard, and they were scoring. I mean, they were hitting. Halliburton hitting game winners on him. It just there was nothing positive about Patrick's time in Milwaukee.
You're right that it was probably his career was dwindling. It was dwindling for sure, but it wasn't over. It wasn't until now.
Yeah.
Do you think there is a chance that he does come back to the league, or do you think? I don't think the league is going to be banning him. I don't think that.
Yeah, I don't think it's a ban. But
Right.
I don't think anybody's going to
just
sign him.
Right, a lengthy suspension, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And then that's going to be it.
I think that's done. I think he's done.
I'm with you. Patrick Beverley, idiot. I don't know what he was thinking.